I guess we can both agree that the Smash Burger episode was fun.
Yeah, one of my favorites so far, by far.
Definitely, it's. I've been sitting here, and when I have any spare moment to think, and even when I don't have any spare moment to think, I'm thinking of what else could we do that's exciting. So I wrote down 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 different ideas. One of them we already talked about was the English Sunday roast, which I think would be interesting. But
so describe that a little bit, just so that people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, and our way of thinking is we come up with some, we get all excited, then we start thinking, oh crap, that's going to be kind of hard. So the idea was so Sunday roast is made with like a good Sunday roast is usually made with a nice fatty standing prime rib, probably fattier than you would use for making a regular hamburger, I'm guessing. Like an 80-20 is probably the sweet spot for that's a sweet spot for a burger. I don't know for a smash burger if it's supposed to be leaner or fatter. Like I said, I'm a bit of a smash burger neophyte. But
if I had to guess, I think 80-20 is what most people use. But I think using fattier meats with a smash burger also works really well because the fat adds to the crust.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think we'd have to go out and grind, like $80 worth of prime rib to make our smash burgers, but a good fatty.
Well, let me give you a little bit of volume for context. 2 duck breasts, which is, I guess, close to the size of like a 20-ounce rib steak or ribeye.
Were they maigrettes? Were they maigrettes or the ones?
No, 2 baguettes.
Yeah, those are usually in that 350, 400 gram.
They were each about this long, about this wide, and about this thick.
Yeah, so 400 grams. 2 of them?
2 of those made, I could have made easily 6 smash burgers with them. Like I had some left.
Okay, so, for 3, what do we need? 2 or 3 balls, right? We can eat 2 even. So I bet you could probably get away with like 250 grams.
Yeah.
So
I think a regular 1.25-inch rib steak ground up will give us enough.
Oh, 1.25
to make Sunday roast patties.
Oh, more than is needed. So anyway, So I don't think the beef is the problem. I think it's more because the idea I was throwing around is like using the Yorkshire pudding as a bun. Now, the problem with the Yorkshire pudding is that when you do it right, it puffs up into this weird, mushroomy, irregular shaped beast that my fear is we might have to try all kinds of different techniques to try and get something that we could get bun-like. But if we succeeded, I think it would be fantastic. Now, the gravy, again, like a proper, Sunday roast gravy is made with the drippings from the fat and the roast. So that would be, are we really going to make a roast just to collect gravy so that we can put it on a smash burger? It's starting to get kind of too complicated and too elaborate, which is not really, I think, what we're trying to aim for. So,
it kind of nullifies the point of smash burgers. Smash burgers has to be simple, kind of quick, but let's say we have the drippings and we have leftover gravy because we had a Sunday roast the day before.
Yes. Or we could use shortcuts. Like some butchers will have a nice demi-glace, either frozen or in the fridge, that we could use as a base as a gravy. I've made Yorkshire pudding using duck fat.
Yeah, it works.
Fantastic. So it's doable. It's basic. It's almost like a pancake batter. So I'm almost thinking if you find yourself, we'd have to find tins that are about the size of a hamburger bun. Make 2 of them. Okay, they might have some irregular shapes at the top. You could trim those off, and you'd be left with two flat Yorkshire pudding.
Well, hold on a second. Let me share something up on screen here.
Or you could just cook them like a pancake on the griddle in the duck fat. Then you would.
Yeah, but usually I'd want them to be like in something that has walls because I think it'll be too thin. But hold on, I have an idea.
Yeah, if you get one to rise enough and have it uniform enough on the top, we could slice it in half, and you'd have your Yorkshire pudding bun. What, a 4-inch cast iron pan?
Why the F not?
See, that's one of the things I was thinking. Like I've seen in the store, sometimes they have these like little tiny like egg pans. There you go. It's like
And because in the past, I've used my big 12-inch cast iron pan to make a monster Yorkshire pudding that I just put in the middle of the table next to the carvings of the roast, and people would just break pieces off. But if we did a big one, it's not going to look as nice, even if we cut pieces. But if we had that thing right there, here,
yeah,
4-inch pans, and they're not exactly expensive.
That thing.
Yeah, hold on. I'd have to unmirror your. Can I do that? No, you would have to change the mirroring.
That's all.
Your camera's mirrored right now.
Okay, or not. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, all that to say is, I think it'd be interesting, but this might almost be like a, Johnny Science experiment show that might it could be a full episode of.
And I'm sure it's going to be delicious, but I'm curious to see how delicious it is. I'm into trying this 100%.
But that said, I've got a whole bunch of others that I think might be easier and just as interesting to try. There was the one last step. I might have called it a Lyon sausage, which is completely the wrong sausage. Lyon sausage is almost like a big sort of bologna type thing, which is fantastic, but wouldn't work for this. It's the Toulouse sausage that I really like. So you get a couple of Toulouse sausage. For those who aren't familiar, they'd be in similar consistency to an Italian sausage. So you would just take the casing off, and one big fat sausage might be enough to make one meatball. It's already got garlic and some spices, and it's quite fatty. So a Toulouse sausage put into a patty and crushed or smashed would be so easy. Then I'm thinking like, Dijon would be a nice classic one. But Comté cheese is more or less from that Toulouse area. Again, we could. I looked for, what are the classic breads of Toulouse, and they say it's not really famous for any bread. They make damn good bread, but there's not the Toulouse baguette or anything. But one of the things that came up that might be worth trying would be in a croissant.
Oh shit.
Comté cheese, croissant, I don't know if we'd put lettuce and tomato in there.
That would probably work.
All bets are on for that. Or maybe a sourdough bun, if you find some nice sourdough buns. Or as they call them in France, baguette de la veine.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call a bun. I can't remember. I think of the name. Yeah.
I could get access to sourdough buns here locally, no problem. A few bakeries here in town that I can. I know the owner, and I can just ask, hey, on whatever weekend, can you make me like 4 sourdough buns of this size? And
because the croissant got me thinking of the other one we had discussed, which was the Beef Wellington.
Oh.
Because Beef Wellington, as we know, is beef, and it's got mushrooms around it, and it's got prosciutto wrapped around it, and then it's wrapped in puff pastry. I think a bun out of puff pastry is a non-starter. It would be just an explosion. But a croissant has that buttery flakiness reminiscent of puff pastry, but it would stick together. So you put the beef, you make the mushrooms, you reduce down the mushrooms, the
And the texture of the croissant actually would resemble closer the pastry. Sorry, maybe you mentioned already the pastry on actual Beef Wellington. It'll have a nicer texture.
Because if we couldn't make a bun out of puff pastry, it would just fall apart.
Yeah, there's no way.
Like, it would be a mess. Whereas the croissant is quite reminiscent.
Yeah.
It's flaky.
And it's acceptable, right? Remember, we want this to still be kind of
easy,
doable and easy. And we can just buy good quality croissants, and we
go to your little market. You get some Comté, you get a couple of Toulouse sausages, a couple of croissants. If you don't have Dijon, pick that up. And lettuce, tomato, whatever else you want to put in there. You can even put.
Yeah, that's not hard. Yeah, that one works. And
that was fairly. Oh yeah, you could grab mushrooms, whatever kind. I mean, you could get exotic with some champignons and some pierots and whatnot. But the trick is to reduce it down and make it into that. I guess it's almost like
it's almost a paste.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much a paste the way it works, because even in Wellington, the mushrooms can't have much water left in them, because otherwise the pastry will never cook. It'll just
they reduce it down to a very sort of dry paste. I've never made Wellington, and so it just seems too much work.
I've only made it twice, and it's I think the mushrooms is getting it right is 90% of the success, because basically what happens is if you don't do it right, the bottom of the pastry will never get crispy. It'll stay soggy as hell because the mushrooms the water will just go down. So yeah, but easy. We reduced the crap out of them.
And I think we briefly spoke about it, and you mentioned, and I was thinking the same thing. Reduce it, put them onto the plancha, and any residual moisture left when you put on you can even crush it, I guess, when you put on the plancha.
Yeah. And now so we could have like a filet mignon based patty that I can grind filet mignon and then smash the patty of filet mignon. Next to it, we can make a ball of those reduced mushrooms that we smash onto the griddle as well, and we can just stack them on top of each other.
I'd even say,
and hold on, and there's a step 3, because
prosciutto.
Yeah, well, once they're both cooked, we stack them. You lay out a slice of prosciutto that half of it is on the plancha, and you sort of like just lean the other side like on something. You put both patties into the prosciutto, fold the prosciutto, which is exactly the same thing as you do in a Wellington, and just takes seconds to crisp up the prosciutto. Seconds. But the prosciutto wraps both patties of the mushroom
and you grill and then flip it over, and then grill the other half of the prosciutto.
Yeah, and you kind of close all like the two patties into this sealed, crispy prosciutto that then goes inside
the croissant.
A croissant
that has been lightly grilled in butter. Would that be overkill?
No, and I think also there's a little bit of mustard that goes into the Wellington as well. But the mustard is, I think, between the beef and the mushrooms. So it's not like you don't really taste the mustard per se. It's more of a binder. So I don't know that we need to use mustard.
But I don't think we have to put it in the same sequence as it is in a real Wellington. I would say you could put it on the baguette if you want. Not a baguette.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I was just saying, like, we weren't forced to put mustard
we don't need it
either bread.
We don't need it as a binding agent. It's not needed as a glue. But I think, and the reason we wouldn't put, let's say, a raw prosciutto is that we're not baking this thing for, an hour afterwards or however long you bake a Wellington. I guess it's 20, 30, 40 minutes. I don't know. But solid. Yeah. So, because if you just put a slice of prosciutto on top of this, the third layer, love prosciutto, but when it's raw, it'll unless you're cutting it, you're gonna be wearing it.
Yeah.
So
the idea of crisping it up is, I think, the way to go.
So this one is like, pretty simple. Like there's nothing I see in there that would be tough to pull off. And I see it being absolutely delicious. I also say why I don't even know if we need to do it with filet mignon. Well, it's kind of
we don't need to.
I see it being too dry. You would probably have to add fat to the filet mignon for it to hold its shape.
Dry.
What's
I
that?
don't think it'll be dry. Because there's a certain kind of filet mignon we can use.
Well, I guess it depends on your grind too.
Yeah, I wouldn't grind it too thin. And we can add fat to it. That's fine. If we have to.
But then why? To me, why they use the filet mignon for the Wellington is because of the shape. To make the
I'll do a test, or really then what we can use is we can just get chuck, which is fairly popular for a burger. Or
the picanha.
Picanha. I was gonna say picanha, or I can get my hands on ground wagyu. It's not expensive. It's loaded with fat.
But do we need that much from the beef when you have the mushroom and the prosciutto? Is what I'm thinking.
It's the fat content. Like I've made wagyu smash burgers before, and it makes a hell of a crust because of the fat.
Okay. But your 80-20 from Chuck probably makes a hell of a crust too.
Yeah, I can. You know what? And I like the idea of grinding the meat like I did with the duck. I want to see if
you have a new toy and you want to use it.
I want to use it as a new toy, but but I don't know. Maybe look, it was my first time having ground duck, so I can't tell you that this was the best ground duck I've ever had because it was the best ground duck I've ever had. It was the first time I had ground duck.
Yeah, same here.
But why don't we get the fatty cut of chuck and
yeah,
we'll try it.
So I think it's again we're trying to keep things relatively simple, and if people don't have a meat grinder, they can if they have a good butcher shop or get. I mean, you could this with the mushrooms and the prosciutto, even your standard bottom of the rung hamburger meat from the grocery store. I think it's still going to taste good in a croissant.
Yes. Of course, 100%. And even though we're making it a little fancy, if we grind the stuff ourselves, everything's attainable.
Yeah.
Heck, you know what I'm even wondering? You know how they have these mushroom type tapenades, like it's almost like already like a type of mushroom paste?
The
problem is they're flavored. Usually there's already like a bunch of herbs, and I'm just trying to make it easier still so that we have less prep to do. I mean, reducing mushrooms is not a big deal.
How? I don't know what your meat grinder is like, but could it take mushrooms and grind them up?
Of course, I don't see why not. Yeah, yeah. It's a mechanism that just spins, and there's a blade at the end.
The old-fashioned one that the old-fashioned ones used to do it by hand, but it's electric.
It's electric.
Weird.
I just hit a button. I'm gonna test it. I'll test it tomorrow.
Because you could put mushrooms in a food processor, just boosting until it's
that too. Yeah. So why are we make? Yeah, this ain't gonna be complicated at all.
Yeah. So and you don't. And I bet you it works. I say we just try with, let's say, button mushrooms or cafe mushrooms.
I say we use regular, like you said, easy, simple mushrooms. We're gonna reduce the shit. We're gonna like cut them up or grind them up real small, and then reduce the crap out of them in a pan.
Because if you put chanterelles and like plots in there, it would be like through the roof. But I think it's already going to be really good without having to add the extra. Here's your $27 smash burger.
Yeah, no, I don't think we need to do that. Although,
yeah, I know. We start small.
It doesn't change as far as the value because it comes up with a new idea for a smash burger that's attainable by everybody buying the ingredients at the grocery store. It's all done. They get home and they just cook and assemble. Whether we choose to go up on some of the ingredients, so what? That's up to us.
We can say, hey, use the most expensive mushrooms that you feel you want to or can afford. And we can always, if we do it with just the regular button mushrooms and it's fantastic, that will set the basis of the barometer for, hey, if you up the mushrooms, this will be even better.
Yeah.
So another one, I won't go into the details, but we can think about it as a very simple one. Would be like a using ground pork and doing kind of like the souvlaki profile, and then using one of the cheese that they use to make saganaki, like a cavalcoteri or gravieri or there's a bunch of other Greek style cheeses, and then you plop that with tzatziki and put it in like one of those puffy pitas. Very simple.
Man, this would be fun if we had a bunch of subscribers, because I could just make a post on YouTube and put the choices and say vote. You know what? I'll do it anyway, and we'll probably get 2 votes.
And that's all we need. Okay, my last simple one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. No, may or may not be simple, but I'm thinking of a Irish lamb stew.
Wait.
And I've done an Irish lamb stew with Guinness. I've done it with beef too.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I've also done a Guinness and cheddar fondue.
Okay, but walk me through the logic of smash burger and stew.
Okay. So the logic here is you take the lamb, you would add, there's a bit of garlic, there's probably there's definitely thyme, maybe a bit of rosemary. I guess ground lamb is fairly fatty, so I think it would hold together pretty well without having to add anything else to it. Mm-hmm. You just make that simple: salt, pepper, garlic. Put it into your smash burger, maybe a bit of onion powder, and then you make your smash with the lamb. Then you take a bit of Guinness, and this is the part where I don't know which one would be better. You take the Guinness and just make a reduction, add some carrots to it, maybe even a bit of potato, so that the starch breaks down, thickens it up. So you make a very thick kind of Guinness gravy, and then use some Irish cheddar. And then the bun, here's the part that I'm not sure. Have you ever had, it's called soda bread? Irish soda bread?
I think I know where you're going.
So it's a bread that you don't add yeast. You just you use buttermilk and you use soda powder and maybe a bit of baking powder. And that's what makes the rise. So the acidity from the milk there, the buttermilk.
Oh yeah, and I can see it kind of has that texture.
Yeah, so you mix it up. You put it into a rough ball. You let it sit for a few minutes. You usually put a cross on the top. Bake it in the oven. And it comes out, it's pretty heavy. It's got this sort of almost a cakey consistency, but I could see a bun, fairly thin one, of soda bread would be like, there you go. That would be so Irish. The smash burger.
Yeah.
I think it would be delicious. I do that every St. Patrick's Day. I make not sourdough, but the soda bread with an Irish stew. I'll often have like an Irish cheddar also. So that bun with Irish butter on it, a bit of cheddar. We make the smash burger. We make a very thick gravy with the Guinness. And like I said, add some carrots and whatnot in it, but really reduce it down. I suppose you could even add some cornstarch to thicken it up, or potato starch to keep it more Irish. And you get a very thick gravy, almost it'd be as thick as the Nona marinara sauce. I think
so.
Yeah, the soda bread would be a bit of work. The other type of bread I was thinking that you can make the potato bread actually, which we use mashed potatoes and flour, and it's similar to a soda bread, but you've got the potatoes in it.
Okay, I'm still here, but I think my camera died.
Yeah, you're kind of you're gonna win the statue game there.
Yeah, the camera just decided to hold on. I'm gonna.
Yeah, so look at that. I guess that looks like Jacques Pepin. The classic Irishman making soda bread. Yeah. Oh man, he's going really smooth. Like usually it's a really rough shaped dough. You plop it down and you stick it in the oven, and it's so easy. And maybe he's making is he making little buns? Oh no, he's just laying it out.
Making a big one.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, when I make it, it's like it's like all rough and crumbly, and it turns out this is much smoother than what I would make. But maybe the smoother one won't have such a rough, gnarly crust that could be dangerous to bite in the burger.
Oh. Okay, I like that. So we have, how many ideas do we have now?
That's one, two, and then you had an amazing one that you brought up. I'll let you introduce.
Oh yeah, so the butter, basically butter chicken. So the butter chicken one is we'll get ground chicken, we mix it up with butter chicken spices, smash that down, make a thick butter chicken sauce, and again, just like your concept of the Irish stew or adding the gravy on the beef Wellington, or gravy on the Sunday roast smash burger, just like the marinara sauce we added on the Italian one. Well, you add the butter chicken one right on top of the chicken patty when you flipped it the first time, and then veneer cheese.
Yeah,
and with surprise, the hell's the Indian bread name?
naan bread.
Naan bread. I think that'd be amazing.
See, he's made his very thin.
Yeah, it looks hard as a rock too.
Yeah, but you could always slightly undercook it.
Yes.
Or at a lower temperature to save our teeth.
Good point.
But on the naan bread, would you make it or pick some up?
Again, this restaurant. No, I would just there's enough tandoori restaurants around here that I can get my hands on a decent naan bread.
Or there's some in the grocery stores that are okay. I would imagine if you go to a specialty, Indian shop or Southwest Asia shop, they might have a better version of naan, like pre-made.
Oh, sorry about that. Took forever for me to get the mic back on.
You're back visually, but not audio. But now all of you is back. Yeah. So the naan, I know a really good fresh naan bread is amazing from a restaurant, but does it survive? If you bring it home and you use it 2 hours later, is it?
No, it will survive because you brush it. You brush it with that oil, water, and salt seasoning we made, and you just toast it lightly on the plancha, and it's gorgeous.
Butter.
Or butter, yeah.
Clarified butter and just clarified butter. Forget the water.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
a bit of water. Yeah, a bit of water, or not even just melted butter has the moisture in it already, right? So
yeah, because it'll evaporate, like you said, right, and it'll just make it a little bit puffy. I'm just reducing that intensity. All right, sorry about that.
All right. Yeah, so that one would probably be more different than any of the other smash burgers because it's chicken to begin with, and it's got non-traditional beef. Well, I guess the duck wasn't really a traditional one either.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't meat, but duck meat is probably closer to a red meat than I'd say a chicken is. Even
the thing, though, I don't know about you. The one thing about the butter chicken one that to me is making me not that excited is the fact that it's ground chicken. I never find ground chicken amazing. Something about it when it's cooked doesn't have the same consistency as red meat. But we can do it.
Try it, and if it's
maybe I add an egg to it.
Maybe could always grind chicken thighs.
I could do that
because you grind the chicken thighs. I guess you could. For people who don't have a meat grinder, you can, but they have a food processor. you put it in your blade and put your food processor, and you're gonna get it's gonna be good enough to be a smash burger consistency.
Yeah, I think so.
I think a pate almost, and if anything, a pate as a smash burger is fine. Or just don't go crazy on the. Don't turn it into a pate. Stop.
So let's pick. So we got 6. Let's pick 3 for the next one. We both pick one, and then I'll do some kind of random thing for the third one.
I think I really like the idea of trying the Toulouse one.
Okay, so yours is the Toulouse.
Fairly simple.
Yeah.
But I'd be really interested in trying something with the croissant. I think that would be crazy good.
Well, we can do the Toulouse, and what we'll do is the one I was gonna pick was the Wellington, but let's not do
too French.
Yeah, so if you're gonna do the Toulouse, we'll keep the Wellington for the video after, because we got 2 more videos with this. 3 burgers.
Then we'd be left with the English Sunday roast in Wellington. We don't want to start.
No, maybe I'm good. No, maybe the Sunday roast is the one I'm going to pick for the next one. So the next one would be the Sunday roast, the Toulouse. And to make it easier on us, I would either pick the ground pork or the buttered chicken, because something tells me that the Wellington and the Irish lamb stew, along with the Sunday roast, are more complicated. I'm pretty sure the ground pork and the buttered chicken we can do with our eyes closed. So Toulouse
is easy.
Easy. Then we do Sunday roast. So the third one is either ground pork or buttered chicken. Let's go with the buttered chicken.
I think so.
Okay. Boom. Next episode's coming right up.
Toulouse, Wellington, and butter chicken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Toulouse. No, not Wellington. Toulouse, Sunday roast, and butter chicken. Wellington's going to be on a different day because of the croissant.
Yeah, okay. Then we got to perfect the... whatever that thing is called, the Yorkshire pudding bun.
We can practice. So I'm going to order those little pans, because I want to be able to... Comes a pack of 4 for $28. Great.
Are they cast iron, or are they...
Yeah. Cast iron skillets. Yep. That's the perfect size.
And we'll need 4 of them when we open up our international smash burger food truck.
Well, I mean, whether I have 4, I mean, it'll be. I think just having 2 is going to be really nice, because we're not just going to make one, because we might fuck one up. So we always want a backup.
You know, I buy 2 off of you, then I can do eggs outside on the barbecue.
Sure. All right, perfect. I'm going to order the cast iron skillets, and stay tuned.
I'm going to have to figure out when, because I'm probably going away this weekend, so...
We'll figure it out. Not a worry for this video.
Yeah, there's a bit of experimenting required.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll even try some... we're supposed to be having a family supper on Saturday before we go away the rest of the weekend. So maybe I will surprise the kids and try and do some Wellingtons, but cook them like pancakes, like a flapjack.
Mm-hmm.
In very hot butter, duck fat. Maybe a little rise enough, and we'll end up like, almost like an English muffin type thing. That can be cut.
You said Wellington, you meant Yorkshire.
Exactly. Just seeing if you were paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, because my mind was like, oh, you're making them little Wellingtons. And then when you said like a pancake, I was like, he means Yorkshire.
Yeah, the Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, so because I think it really, when you put the batter in, it's almost instant. So part of me's thinking it's not really the oven that's causing the rise. It's the hot oil. So if you've got hot oil in the pan,
yes. However,
it puffs up.
However, if you don't have walls, where you're putting the batter, it's not going to have the effect you think it does.
But when you do a flapjack, flapjacks, you cook them. There's no wall. That sucker rises up quite a bit. So you get 2 of those, and that becomes your bun. Again, experimenting. I don't know. We'll try it, and with my kids, I'll toss anything at them, and they'll eat it. So even if they're disasters, wow, this is amazing.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay, so we'll be in touch. I'm not sure what I'm going to be testing, but I'll let you know as I'm testing it, and maybe we'll reconvene in another episode like this just to share notes before we do the next full episode, or we improvise like last time and it works out and we just do the full episode when we're ready.
Yeah, the script was great last time.
It worked out. It worked out awesome.
Yeah, we'd survive a writer's strike.
Yeah, we probably would. A writer's strike, a cameraman strike, a sound guy strike.
and anybody knows anything about wine and food knowledge.
Sommelier strike, actor strike. We survive anything.
All good. It's all good. Okay, sir.
All right.
À la prochaine. Bye.